No, it's not a failure. It's only a failure to those that want Kevin Durant to fail. That's why it's a failure.
See, I'm telling you, watching him Game 5 on.
Yes.
Especially Game 5.
Yes.
But even in Game 7, the way he played, what he showed you. Is it crazy to think that those who really were the haters, as they say, for him leaving Oklahoma City, joining the Warriors to win a championship, having that run there, I feel like, did he win by losing? Now, no player wants to lose. Like, you don't feel good about losing, obviously, and we'll get to what he said in a minute. But I just look at it, and I watched him play, and I thought, man, the narrative on this dude better change. Because the whole idea of him not wanting to take on the challenge of carrying a team and I'll join a team ready-made for a championship, like, that's got to change. Because here's a guy who had the pieces that he put together were gone, and he still gave you everything. He emptied the tank and still almost got them over the top.
But did you
a toenail away from ending the series.
Did you really need to see that, though, Allen, to come to that conclusion?
I didn't, but maybe a lot of other people did. I mean, come on.
You
know what people are saying about this guy, though? You know what they're saying?
But they're not watching the same games and the same player if they really believe that in their heart. They believe it on some hate stuff. They want to hate him and not like him. But do you really honestly believe that it took him to do what he did in the playoffs for you to finally sit up and go, oh, well, yeah, he really is good. He really is.
Well, it's not about him being good.
He really carried his team.
It's the other part, man. It's the other part. The question.
The same thing that he's been doing for the Nets, he was doing prior to his Achilles injury to any team he's ever been on, whether it was an Olympic team, Texas, whether it was Golden State or OKC. Same thing. What changed? Other than he doesn't have Kyrie and Harden and didn't have Curry and didn't have Westbrook or Draymond or Klay Thompson?
Yeah.
The same thing he's been doing, though. Maybe he's not giving you 48 minutes or 53 minutes, but he's giving you the same basketball stuff. I don't understand how people – this is when I get mad.
But again, you know what was said.
Damn them.
He joined the Warriors after losing to them.
Oh, stop.
That he was chasing a ring, that he wanted. Then he puts together a super team in Brooklyn, that he wouldn't go somewhere on his own to make it his own. There was so many things said about Durant, not about his talent.
Why would I want to go somewhere and try to lift a building on my back all by myself if I could get some other dudes to help me lift that building?
Of course.
What that doesn't even make sense.
Right. If you could create a team, if you have the ability to do it, that you have the strength to win a championship, then what are we wasting time for? Let's get to it now. Right. I felt that way. I've always felt that way. But there's been a narrative, and I feel like it should now change. Just like we said, is the process dead?
Well,
I think it's this notion that Kevin Durant is a front runner, like what some people say about him. That's out. This guy's a winner, and even though they lost, to me, I think he's got to win.
This is why that's
got to be out now.
That's why I don't like people. People just make stuff up in their mind. He's a front runner. How is he a front runner?
Because he joined a ready-made team when he went to Golden State. That's what people said.
What? Golden State? We don't know that Golden State would have won those championships without Kevin Durant. Do we know that?
Well, he was
they won a
Finals
championship
MVP,
before.
so maybe not.
Yeah, they won a championship without him before.
Right.
Yes, with an entirely different team.
Yeah.
That wasn't the same team that Kevin Durant was on. Those were different players except the main three.
Well, the main three were still there.
The main three was still the same.
Yeah.
Except some of the other players changed. And those other players that changed was an important part of the first championship.
But he didn't have those. He had those main players at Golden State. The point was to try to win this thing with James Harden, who they added earlier this season, Kyrie Irving, who he signed with over a year ago, actually 2 years ago, to create this. And neither one of them were available. Health was always the concern. And KD talked about what it was for the Nets to just not have those two key pieces at full strength.
I can't even speak about how much we missed Kyrie out on the floor and how much we missed James to start the series. And, seeing him, I could go for 40 minutes on both of those two, on how much they care about us and how much they put their bodies on the line to help us out as a team. Kyrie had a gruesome ankle injury, and he was thinking about, when could he play next? And that shows that he cares about us so much. James, playing on one leg, came out there and gave it his all. 48 minutes in Game 5, 40 last game, and then 50 tonight. it's nothing but respect and love for those two guys. We missed them out there, but we still had a chance to win.
Now, Harden had 22 points, and he played again the whole game, 53 minutes on the bad hamstring. And you could tell it was a bad hamstring because he was 2 of 12 from three-point range. That's really where it affects you, the base in your shot. 5 of 17 in the game, but he did go 10 for 10 from the free throw line, got you 9 assists and 9 rebounds. Almost got you a triple-double, despite the fact that he's playing.
Alan.
Yeah.
He gutted it
He
out.
showed a toughness, too.